gentlemen, and welcome back to the UKLC. I've switched out with Excoundrel. My name is Jake Hitbrain Matthews, but we are still joined by Dan Orcs Harrison, as we'll be bringing you our third game of the day, which will be Barrage taking on XL.
Yeah, so it should be a good one. Again, start the split. You asked me who this is favored to. I would say XL right now.
If we go off the last 2 weeks, XL have not made it out of the round of 8 once.
Yeah.
But Barrage have made it out twice now.
And if my 2 is more than 0.
Yes.
So I would, yeah, it favors Barrage.
But if we're going to look at the base numbers, XL are still ahead of Barrage.
Yeah, they had that great week one.
They had the great week one. They sat on top of the tower. They are sitting third, tied with M&M at the moment. They're just seen M&M get out, which means if they don't win versus Barrage here, M&M actually overtake them, shove them down to 4th, and then XL find themselves in a
dicey situation.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
There's a bit of heat off them because Enclave are the closest after that, and because they got knocked out, they're not going to be right on the tails. But still, it's not a good situation to be in for XL if they drop this game. So, I mean, it's just kind of unbelievable to say that, like, okay, we bring down 2 NEC players, bring Kasing, bring Exile, still lose.
I mean, Kasing basically just walked in the door like, "Hi guys," and just fell flat on his face.
What frustrates me is that they played it so well. He played so well in the support role for like the first 10, 15, 20 minutes. And then they just threw it away.
Well, that's the question. Yeah, what is going wrong here for XL? To be honest, what is going right for Barrage? Because they've been playing really well for the last 2 weeks.
Barrage have had some good moments and bad moments against Enclave. They did suffer a defeat, but I think they sort of have really solid mid lane in Kremel. I think Artorias has been willing to pick some sort of fancy matchups. And a lot of people said at the start of the split, you know, bot lane and Barrage might be a weak point, but Jackamak and Barciona have really stepped up. And then this side of XL, it's like the early game is still strong, and then they just throw. They just make questionable decisions. They don't set up properly. They get overconfident, look for fights they don't need, which I'm not going to pin on any person in particular because you don't know. But it seems like the roster have been overconfident. And they're like, oh, we can crush these guys easy. Look how far ahead we are. There's no way we lose this. Which is the famous last words, you know?
And I think if you look at a team like Barrage, you know, they whipped Riven out. They've been styling on people.
Riven's pretty good right now as well.
Riven is very good right now. So maybe something we see get banned in the picks and bans?
Potentially. Especially if you put yourself in a position where Sendo doesn't necessarily have a good matchup. And he is someone who's been known to die in lane more than a player of his caliber should. So, maybe not the first rotation, but for now we will see Yasuo ban actually come out. And unfortunately, you do have the old overlay still. Hopefully that'll get changed up in a second. It is Barrage against XL.
Yeah. Got the wrong teams at the top of the screen, but don't worry about that. With Yasuo and Lucian have been banned away so far, as you get to come back to us.
Okay, what are you going to pick next?
Yeah, come on. What do you think?
Maybe like, it's really hard to predict on this side. Because blue, you can just sort of ban whatever. Maybe they could focus support, they could get rid of the Galio or the Thresh.
LeBlanc.
Actually, LeBlanc.
I was going to say it, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to make you look silly, right?
Oh, no, you were talking about Barrage. I was talking about XL banning the Galio. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I guess we were both right.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we're so smart. Go us.
Look at us.
Yeah. And then they do take away the Jarvan.
Which you predicted.
Yep.
You know, this is a smart noggin in there.
That's what I'm here for. Yeah. And then the Nico, again, this champion is just permaban on red side. No one wants to play against that.
No, but it does leave the Zoe open. That means Camille's going to get his hands on that.
Oh, I would love it. No, don't bait me, please. No, we shouldn't talk about hovers, but oh, can you imagine? Can you imagine?
That is how to style. And to be fair, has an okay matchup into Zoe.
And it got buffed recently.
And it got buffed recently.
And
but
it's Exile, he is the sort of player who would pick it.
I mean, they're 0-2 in the last 2 weeks. I feel like they're going to want to go safe. Oh. They go safe. They take the Rise.
I mean, his Rise is good, but come on. I would have loved that. I would have paid to see that.
It would have some serious style points if he whipped it out. But he's not. For the moment, we're just going to see Tax also get his hands on that at least.
That is a strong 2v2 mid. It's like you root with the Rise, and then you cocoon. And it should always land. So if you're first picking the Zoe, Zoe is someone who struggles because she is immobile, especially before she gets to ult. But even at ult, you know, you go, and then you go back. So if you get locked down by that Rise Elise, not going to have a fun time.
Yeah, he's going to have to take cleanse. I mean, if you don't take cleanse in this matchup as Camille, that's just straight up disrespect. And
I'd go as far as say inting, but Braum will actually get taken from the side of Barrage now, given that pick over to Barciono. Question will be, do they want to prioritize an AD carry here, or potentially go for a jungler? But do you see Scudzy liking the Sejuani has good synergy, but it might be a bit early to pick that now. Interesting look, because we did see Skarner have some changes, I believe, on this patch. Better Spire location, but they are going for that Nocturne. So not wanting to match the Lisa's early levels and just saying, look, do what you want. Level 6, I'm going to be better than you.
I'm curious to see what XL pick up here. Did they go for a support or AD? And then look, just to kind of take away a bunch of the if they take an AD, they can just ban out all the remaining strong ADs, or they can just take a nice support for themselves and try and look to go into the next phase on equal footing.
Yeah, personally, I'd be on I think in a Braum, you're not pressured too much to pick a support, so I guess I'm going to go to Tom Kench and prove me wrong. I would have personally gone for a stronger AD carry for Inax, but I guess when I know more about the lane matchup, Tom Kench gives them a lot of safety, and if you look at XL's composition right now, that's a lot of map pressure.
I mean, though, you do look at Tom Kench. 1 pick, 1 loss here in the UKLC, so not the greatest start to the year here, but is in the Hangzhou Sing, you know, a player who we're very confident in being able to pilot a champion like this.
Absolutely, and it's just that combined with the Rise means you have so much map pressure. You can easily just be anywhere with a large number of members, but it's going to come down to them to play it correctly to get to that point. They are going to ban out the Jays from Artorias, so that suggests to me that they might delay the AD carry pick even further, or potentially, I mean, I don't know, they might go for the counter pick top. I would personally go for the counter pick top. It's
really hard to concentrate on picks and bans when through the glass I can see Scoundrel giving a massage to our producer. They've got it real easy over there.
Yeah, well,
you know, we're doing the hard work out here, grinding away.
Well, the top lane bans coming out again, so Yorick going to get taken away. Potentially, I mean, they could take away the Riven if they're really concerned about it. You know, they just don't want that extra split.
I feel like you want. I feel like if I was risky to blind pick it.
If I was XL on I would take the counter pick and I would go for a good matchup top for Sendo. I'd go for the split push. And then you have a really solid 1-3-1 with the Rise, because Zoe's not the best in the side lanes. It's going to be interesting to see what Barrage have as an answer to that, because if you fall apart in the 1-3-1, you're going to struggle, but at the same time, you know, you have the potential to have a pretty solid comp with good pressure on Baron, because at least isn't really the best. If she falls behind, she's not the best to go face checking at things. You can just fire a skill shot, and sure, she has a repel, but she can just go up and then down if there's nothing to go to.
Well, Fiora's the final ban now.
Yep, so concerned about the split push potency back. Camille's still open, and that's something that Sendo is happy to play. There is things like the Aatrox and the Renekton wants to play.
That's the Renekton.
He's bringing the confident matchup, so they're going for the better lane matchup bot lane. They'll bring out the Renekton, and now it's up to Artorias what he wants to pick as an answer. I think Aatrox, it's a skill matchup. Riven, it's favored towards Renekton traditionally, but I think Riven's so strong right now in this patch. If you're good with it, I think you could actually beat
Conqueror is very easy to use on both of them, right?
I think with the win rate of Riven has skyrocketed, but I think it's a bit too risky. They go for the Aatrox, so that's going to be a very heated matchup and could go either way. Interesting enough, both these champions have been sort of played a bit, but not too much on the on 9.4, but on 9.5. On the later end of 9.4, they've been picked so much more recently, and it's going to be a heated top matchup. Comes down to how much a jungler can sort of impact that, and the question for me is going to be, what can a Nocturne really do pre-6, which is not much.
Okay, well, Barrage round it out with a safer pick in the top lane by taking the Aatrox, and will set himself a pretty safe blind AD with that Sivir. 50% win rate here in the UKLC at the moment. Looking to see what XL are looking to close out the picks and bans with.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of options, but you could pick something just to win lane, but you have a Tom Kench, so I'm not sure how much it's going to do. I'd want something with decent wave clear, and Jinx has decent wave clear, but still a very wild pick to go for.
Struggles early as well with that wave clear.
Yeah,
costs a lot of mana to use the rockets, and Sivir can just shove a lot safer.
The big question is later on, though, if you're going for that 1-3-1 with the Rise, the Jinx can just sit mid and clear the waves. But also, crucially, you outrange the Sivir so hard. The Sivir has to find windows to get close to you. You have to have that Ricochet auto reset before you get close to the Jinx, or you're just going to drop. And the thing is, they have the protection from the Tom Kench, but they need their solo lanes to get ahead early if they're going to facilitate this Jinx. Whereas on the other side, it just feels like Barrage are going to have a much easier comp to execute. You press R, you run at them.
Yeah. Just the one key and go comp here by Barrage, but you know, we are looking at XL. While yes, their comp is probably a little bit harder to execute, this is a team who, you know, they should be able to execute it, especially into a team like Barrage. You know, coming into the beginning of the season, we kind of placed this fairly low in the rankings. They still currently are fairly low in the rankings, but if trends continue from what we've seen for the last few weeks, Barrage could actually climb up that ladder higher and just with consistency try and beat out someone like XL.
Absolutely, and I like that they're picking a composition that isn't too smart. Not in terms of it's smart to play it, but just the fact that you don't need to be a rocket science to play a Sivir comp. So just play a Sivir Nocturne comp where you just press your R's, you go in, you find the picks, and it's not putting a huge burden on executing a difficult split push, because I feel like XL definitely have win conditions. Their split push is going to be threatening. They have the Jinx, who's potentially going to be very strong late game. But if things start to fall apart, it could get very dicey. Whereas I feel like Barrage have put themselves in a position where their win condition is pretty simple.
Yeah. So talking about the earlier stages of the game, what are we looking for? What are we expecting here?
I think it comes down to how much Taxa can impact the map, because Taxa's got this Elise. You don't pick Elise for her level 18 power skype. It's a level 3, and it's the fact that she has all those abilities early. I want to see him make an impact on the map. Mid's pretty good because it's easy to set up, but at the same time they have cleanse. Top lane is pretty solid as well. Renekton just dashes in stuns. It's a long lane. It's very easy for the Elise to get in. So by all means, I think he should put his pressure on the top side of the map. And bot lane, I think Kissing and Inax just want to farm.
Okay, Orcs. The studio's not new. We've been here for 5 weeks now.
Long time.
But I'm curious, what's your favorite part about the studio? What's like your favorite like knick-knack we've got lying around? Because we've got quite a few things. Hopefully we can bring this stuff up on the other camera and we can have a little look around, see if there's anything we like.
I'd probably say the Poros.
The Poros? There's quite a few of them. We got this
I like
chap
this
over
one.
here.
I like just...
There's two over there. There's a King Poro over there.
I like the
as well.
King Poro as well. I feel like we should put them together sometime because, you know, they'll have a good time. But I just like sometimes just grab them, give them a little...
Just play with the tongue. Hello. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, I like the lava lamp, by the way. I'm a big fan of the lava lamp.
I hope you don't do that to lava lamp.
No, that would burn.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank God. Right, let's have a little look at our rosters coming into this game. Barrage with Victorious in the top lane. Scudzy is the jungler, but Wiz kind of XL. Sendo, Taxa, XL, Inax, and Mystiques. That's Kissing.
That isn't Kissing, that's Mystiques, but they have Kissing.
Yeah. Right, we're in the game.
Bit of an oopsie days on the roster rundown, but, you know, at the end of the day, this is what we're here to see, the game.
What do you think a Poro tastes like? Like, if you cook it?
I think you're sick that you'd ask that.
I feel like
they're not to be eaten.
For me, it'd be a little bit like deer. I don't know why. Actually, they wouldn't be like deer, because they're probably quite fatty, actually. They're probably more like pork or something.
I'm concerned that this is the thing you should think about.
Someone's got to ask these questions.
So like,
I'm sure someone has asked this question.
If you were in the world of League of Legends with all this wonder and mystery, you'd be like, I wonder what Poro tastes like. I'm going to eat one.
Oh, you got to eat, otherwise you can't continue to seal the wonder and mystery.
Yes, if only there was a way of life where we didn't have to eat meat.
Look, me and you have been out for Nando's pretty much every week after the show. You can't say that to me.
You're not wrong. But I wouldn't eat a Poro.
I feel like it'd be like one of those things you try once, right? You know, you go to another country, you experience the delicacy, you eat some of their, you know, their food.
But some.
Have you never gone to another country and just eaten something a little bit wild?
Some of them I'm a bit like, not too keen on that.
Well, yeah, it's not like I'd go and eat bugs, right? Some places, you know, you can go. The witch grubs in Australia and stuff like that.
Yeah, why not? Decent meal.
Not gonna follow up on that.
No, I feel like we're getting into dangerous territory here, so I'll just stop now.
What food? Making me hungry.
Yeah. And we have a whole 2 games to go through before we can get on Nando's.
See, this is the thing I miss about, you know, our studio being in Barcelona for last season. Was that hot dog shop we would go to with Celtic Tiger.
Yeah, but we couldn't
and
get
we would eat like 6 hot dogs each. It was
so
great.
You're saying you miss hot dogs from Celtic Tiger? I missed that.
It was fun.
I miss Celtic Tiger.
But I don't miss you because I've got you here, so I don't have to. I'm not missing everything.
Okay, that's fair.
We've also got a Scoundrel.
We do get cheeky Nando's, so
yeah.
You know.
We have our dates. Right, let's take a little look at the game.
Oh yeah, I always forget there's a League of Legends game going on.
You know, stuff's going on. Action's breaking out. Taurus in this top lane having a little bit of a push early into Sendo's Exile. Camille, the trades have been pretty equal, sorry.
Pretty evil.
Ugh.
And it looks like Inax and Kissing getting this shove here, so pretty good pressure from them, to be honest. I think in the early levels, I mean, I guess Sivir doesn't have the mana really to expend, but I think that's just showing the veteran status of this Tahm Kench and Jinx, because Sivir's got pretty good shove, and the fact that Jackamak is out of mana and Inax isn't, and he has a shove, is a pretty good sign.
Yeah, it's a good start for them here. As level 3's now been hit on Taxa, so it's that power spike you were talking about on the Elise. You can see Artorias is pushing, and that's exactly where Taxa is, so he might try and see if he can make something happen, but there is a ward in that tri-bush, and it looks like that information has been communicated here. So Taxa doing a lane gank on the Elise.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's easy to execute. The flash, oh no, it's a repel comes in, but it is actually off screen, but you saw Taxa jump forwards on the minimap, so used that repel, but wasn't able to find anything on Artorias. Bit of wasted time, so good moves from him to back away and not get caught here, but pressure definitely over to Kissing and Inax in the spot lane, especially since to me, Jinx, Tahm Kench is in a lane, you think, oh wow, look at all the pressure they have.
Yeah. But
does have good trading because that Jinx outranges the Sivir, but even so.
It's when it gets really rough into Renekton, when he has all that healing on his Q, and if he's got Conqueror stacked up as well, it's even more bonus healing.
Yeah, he stacks it pretty fast as well. That's the thing,
I
feel like
gives free auto attacks, so that's 3 stacks.
Yeah, I feel like the Aatrox stacks it a bit slower. Has a longer burn. Sendo's baiting a bit here, but I don't think Artorias is going to fall for it.
I've always said Aatrox is basically just a slow version of
Oh,
Riven, but that's going to be the Cocoon. He's fallen for it in first blood. Picked up for Sendo.
Yeah, so Sendo walked towards the river, and Artorias thought, it's okay, he's not in the lane, I'm safe. But he does go down to the double gang, and actually, I think they're going for a return. Elise is very fatal in these dives. They're going to wait for the TP to come in, and Exile's actually walked over as well. So Artorias holds his TP. He won't get ganked again, but he loses so much gold on that wave.
Oh, that's big as well. Jackamaka doesn't actually get spell shield procs, it doesn't get the mana back. Which is nice for him for the moment.
It's little victories. That's what you live for.
Well, these little things add up, you know. To get yourself a CS lead, a couple of minions, can grow into a 10 minion CS lead, then can grow into a 20 minion.
Using the lane here before he goes for his recall, but Kramel's cancelled his, and I think he's just going to look, shove this. And actually, Scuzzy's nearby. Just a little bit of a back and forth. A CS lead actually coming over to Kramel, so putting the advantages in the early levels in this lane. But hasn't been pressured by Taxa as well. We said that might be a concern, but Taxa's level 4. Still got a lot of time to make use of this power of the Elise in the early game, but so far 1 kill. Not bad. We would like to see more.
You can see Barrage trying to push in this bot lane. We're trying to remain control of the bot lane as the CS lead is still equal here. Sin and Inax doing a good job to hold out in a lane which, you know, should have started with a push. Can see that they've been able to catch back up on the CS deficit they did have at the beginning of the game, so at least going equal here for the moment. But ooh, Taxa gonna go up.
I think that's
might drop down. Doesn't
just
the Spiderling actually takes it here. Notorious is making his way in, but Scudzy, no R available. Now Sendo slices and dices in. He gets himself the stun on. That's gonna be the flash into the Cocoon. Taxa's made it happen, and Notorious goes down once again.
Don't flash in a straight line. That's the crucial rule you learn in League of Legends. Artorias falls prey to it and gets picked off. And it was at the start of a play that actually looked pretty good for Barrage, but the Sleepy Trouble Bubble just doesn't connect onto the Elise. And crucially, Kramel with no mana wasn't able to offer any more support. Exile finding these advantages in the top side.
You can see Exile's just having a look around the jungle, knowing that they were able to get a kill onto Artorias, knowing that the bit of pressure in favor of them. Just
well, I think the crucial thing is the fact that Kramel had no mana and had to recoil, and Exile TP'd back in, so he's going to have the time to set things up just before Kramel gets back to lane. But now Sendo looking to kind of freeze the lane here because Artorias is still level 5, no flash. Whoa.
It's a little harder to freeze when you have a Tiamat.
It's very hard to hold this lane though when you have the level 7 Renekton against. He has his level 6 finally. But still, it's not a good position to be in. Taxa once again is walking into this brush. He's looking for the gank.
This is how you play Elise. Pick a lane and you camp it.
Xing, playing with fire here, but he seems fairly confident. And now,
they got the
comes in.
Notorious is forced to use World Ender.
But he just get away, so fair play to him. Looks like Barrage will go for that turret on the bottom side, and XL just going to get some turret plating, which isn't bad by no means. But considering they committed 3 members there, you'd hope to get that kill as well.
Does mean Notorious is playing with no defensive utility under his belt, as he's now got no World Ender, his flash is still down. He has Umbral Dash as his only way to escape, and that's a tiny dash.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, that plate in the bot lane didn't even go down. They barely scratched the surface. And Xing flashes in and gobbles up Bartiono. Inax is going to try and take himself the kill here. Now when they get excited, they are coming in, but that's going to be the ultimate turnaround. A kill's been picked up by Jakamaka. He holds out fast and Xing goes down. Scudsy gets him as well. And 2 for 1 in the bot lane.
Crucially, the Nocturne ult came in, and it was a good start of the play for Inax and Xing, but they overcommitted onto the Sivir. Jakamaka had the Braum passive still available for him onto Inax, and as soon as he started to stack that up, it was easy for Scudsy to come in. And they managed to turn around when it initially looked a bit dicey for the side of Barrage.
Yeah, what an engage by Xing, but such a good turnaround. That paranoia coming up,
They just
absolutely massive.
And crucially, Inax cancelled an auto there.
I mean, he's spotted on a ward here, but Notorious just doesn't really have anything he can do. No ult, no flash, and it looks like that's going to be the ulti thrown down by Sendo. He can look to stun him up, and he's going to do so. The Cocoon is in, the damage is on, and that is going to be a clean kill for Sendo.
Don't even need to use Elise Repel for the dive. Artorias is not having fun this game. They can't get the tower quite yet, but on this next wave, they should just be able to push it in if they want to.
Well, Bubble does connect. That's actually going to be a nice chunk of damage onto Exile. But Inax actually taking some serious damage from those ricochets.
A bit overconfidence, and I think one of the things with Jinx is that Jinx does outrange the Sivir pretty heavily. But when Sivir has the auto reset on the ricochet and the boomerang blade, you can actually put a lot of burst damage into that Jinx. So Inax has to be careful if he gets too close. So I think it's a massive issue now, but late game when those crits are doing like 600 damage, if you double auto with the auto ricochet, you can almost one-hit a squishy character. So
let's talk CS. Let's talk items here. Sendo 0-3, down 40 CS to Sendo. Artorias, sorry. Yeah. Sendo is 2-0-1. He's got a Tiamat, he's got the BF sword, he's building towards that Spear Sojin. Yeah,
which is going to be a huge power spike for the Nectin. Means he can just essentially press ult, go in, and destroy Artorias. He has to respect this lane matchup so much now, and very different from the Aatrox we saw last game, who got massively ahead. This one's massively behind.
Syntax is definitely the reason that's happened as well. He's put so much pressure onto this top lane, unlocking Excel's split push top laner. You've also got the Ryze, who's also very good at split pushing, and Sendo gets pulled back by the Infernal Chain, so he's not going to go down here.
Does get the tower though, and that's what they came for. Pushes them into a pretty heavy 2k gold lead. Game definitely not over yet, and I gotta be looking at, you know, Jakamaka and Cromel later on. They're on pretty solid carries. The scaling's not super great on a Zoe, but you can still always one-shot someone later on. But the Sivir, we know, can be a monster in the late game. So it's just about finding the opportunities.
Oh, that's the paranoia. Thrown down to go into the bot lane. Already, both of the double Goldens have gone out. That's going to be a flash away, and Inax will get swallowed up here by Xing, but he's going to fall down as well. Bartiono gets out scot-free and execute onto Jakamaka, and Bartiono walks away with a sliver of hay.
Just a perfectly executed dive. I mean, I say perfect. The slight mistake was the fact that Jakamaka died, but crucially, Bartiono blocked the damage onto him, so it ended up being an execute. They get both kills, they get the tower, and they don't give anything away, not even the gold from that Sivir. So great play coming out from Barrage, and they are putting the pressure on this bot lane.
Rift Herald's already been thrown down here. They knew that Zoe was in that bot lane. They're going to be able to try and get some serious plate damage out here, as the minions are either going to tank up a few shots for the Rift Herald. I don't think this will be the turret, it's Bartiono's
here. The plating's a bit too tanky for now.
Although, good unbreakable.
So a lot of damage, a lot of plating. Keeps XL on a gold lead, but they did lose that tower and all its plates in the bot side. So right now, bot lane and Barrage looking great, but look at that Spear of Sojin being finished by Sendo. That is not a 1v1 matchup you'd be happy to be in for Artorias.
Well, he's got the Tiamat as well, and it's only 12 minutes in. This is a little rough here for Artorias. He's just got that Kindle Gem and the Ninja Tabbies, but Not sure how much you're going to be able to block. If we do look at the EADs, they're pretty much equal here on items. BS pickaxe and
Sivir
Grievous.
is just backing out. I think she's going to have a bit of a gold advantage because of the extra money from that tower. So it does pick up a whole Brawler's Glove, but does that
and
does
a dagger.
Yeah, so about 700 gold ahead of the Jinx, which isn't much, but it's what you want to see from the side of Barrage.
Sendo could be on the receiving end of a gank here. 4 members, throws down that ultimate, holds out with a stun, but he's already been caught out, and he goes down. Notorious is just getting the shutdown.
And that was just great execution from Scudzy. It's exactly what you want to see. The strongest person on the map was that Crocodile, and now he has a pair of Crocodile shoes. And 500 gold bounty, pretty big to go over to Artorias there.
And Scudzy's doing a great job of controlling dragons here as well. When that first turret blood went down, he picked up the Ocean Drake. Now he can pick up the Mountain Drake. We've seen 2 times in a row today how impactful Mountain Drakes can be for taking these Barons later on in the game. When you've got a Sivir, you're going to rip through these Barons.
Yeah, and the crucial thing with the Sivir as well is it's so easy to turn off the Baron. I mean, you press R, and if anyone's within a reasonable range, you can just run them down and take them out. I mean, the thing is, like, especially Tahm Kench doesn't offer much disengage at all. No one really, apart from the Jinx with the traps, offers much disengage. Because the thing is, yes, Tahm Kench can eat you, but if they can run him down as well, there's not really any saving grace there. Do get a look at the gold numbers there, and we can see gap's been closed a bit from that shutdown in the top lane, but still massively different. But across the board, otherwise, Barrage are pulling ahead. The only sort of discrepancy is that mid lane, but still very even.
You can see that's come from Exile's, you know, he's been roaming, but he's still been able to, like, pick up CS. He's still been able to control his wave just because of how good Ryze can be at wave clear.
Yeah, and I mean, Cromel has made things happen.
Cromel might actually be able to get some serious damage, Exile. Not enough to actually kill him, though.
But still chunks him up pretty heavily. You never know with Zoe, because a lot of champions are like, nah, I won't kill him. But with Zoe, you never complete shit. Artorias is going to try and defend here, but with no World Ender, I think he might just have to give this one up.
Yeah, attacks it. Throws that Spiderling. Takes a bit of aggro. It's Taurus.
Scudzy's here, though. This could be a bait.
Paranoia's on. Infernal Chains connect onto Taxa. They're still just working away at the tower, working away at the minions.
World Ender and Paranoia. Paranoia just came up now. World Ender got about 5 seconds to go. You really want that before you go for a fight. They've got to expect that Scudzy's here. There's no way Artorias would be this aggressive without him.
Infernal Chains are on. The Cocoon's down, and Artorias just gets picked up.
World Ender came up, but he didn't have time to use it, and just over-aggressive there. The CC lands. Good execute from XL. And because Scudzy came down bot, it means that Barrage weren't able to get anything mid off that play. So, bit of an oopsie daisy from the side of Barrage, and now XL moving towards that mid lane. They want to make something happen.
Yeah, they're looking for the collapse here onto Giacomacca and Bartiono, but staying
Paranoia's
on the
still
other
up.
side of the tower, and they still got Paranoia, like you said, so it can quickly turn into 3 members of Barrage jumping on you and bursting you. So, XL do step away for the moment. We can look at Cromel, has got that paddle star, looking to get some damage out, but do get out of range.
But they're going to get this tower in the bot lane. The pressure's not there, and
Poor Artorias, he's been in a 1v2 this whole game, but looks like actually he's
Clap's
trying to make
coming
this a 4v2, make it a 5v2. The bubble's going to connect. They have no ultimate by Giacomacca, but they just throw everything onto the Crocodile. And Giacomacca is going to pick up the kill.
got to ask at what cost, though. They already lost that tower bot. Might well lose this one mid, and Exile putting pressure on the top lane. They make the kill onto Artorias, but they're starting to lose a lot across the map.
I think they just used 3 ultis to get that.
I mean, using ultis is fine, you know, because they come back. You know what doesn't come back? Towers. And they just lost one on the mid. A bit of damage in the top lane, so XL pulling ahead here and still 3k gold up.
Have to see how impactful Artorias' World Ender being on cooldown now will be. Because it's still fairly lengthy. He wasn't able to hit level 11 before that. So, still a little bit behind. A second BF sword has been picked up onto Sendo as he works his way towards the GA.
Yeah, gives him a lot of teamfight power, and this is really where XL are starting to evolve into that 1-3-1. It's very hard to pressure the Tahm Kench Jinx in the mid lane. The Baron's not available to sort of look for yet, and right now you can just send that Renekton bot, you can send the Ryze top lane, and it's very easy to execute the split push. Barrage don't really have any answers, especially with Baron off the table, so yes, they took down the Crocodile before, but they got nothing off it in terms of objectives.
Alright, well, Ocean Drake's spawning up soon as well. 1 minute on that. This does look like the wave clear that Barrage has does actually kind of put the brakes on a little bit for XL. Sivir now with that Infinity Edge and Zeal is going to be able to
but
do a
only
fair
in this
amount of
one
work.
lane is the issue. And that's the thing is that in the mid lane, it's not really where XL are looking for pressure. They just want control, and Jinx still manages to shove in pretty effectively. But you can see they're now moving into this red side jungle. They're trying to get control here.
Oh, Scudzy, he just takes a massive combo. Repel goes up and Taxa jumps out. Zap's going to get dodged out here for the moment. We have a tweet at the bottom of this screen.
Yeah, from XL Kieran. XL Kieran and XL Joel, who are brothers in charge of XL. And then on the side of Barrage, there is Barrage James and Barrage Jeff, are both in charge of Barrage. So both pairs of brothers going head to head. Which brothers will prevail? You have to see. Nice little tweet showing some camaraderie.
You were almost there.
Hit me with it then.
Camaraderie.
Camaraderie, yeah, right.
You said it so wrong that I actually, for a minute, forgot how to say it. But this is that Arky comp coming out. The Glacial Fish is on, and the fight is going to break. You can see already Kasing has used that great help, but into the fight, as Inax is able to pick himself up one. He is doing so much work and remaining untouched for the moment. The Zap the Cocoon goes wide, and XL do turn around for one quick kill.
They get a great save, and XL is still pushing in the top lane, and this is how you know XL are in control, because throughout their entire play, they didn't call for the Rise TP, and he just kept pushing on that side of the map. Inax, almost untouched in that fight, did have to flash in the end, but the Jinx is starting to get really scary when she's not threatened.
You can see how much damage he did. He only has the Infinity Edge and the Zeal in that fight.
The big thing is if he crits or not. Yeah, if he crits, it hurts.
Yeah.
And the crucial thing is there's no one on the side of Barrage who wants to take those crits. Like, Aatrox is pretty far behind, and even then he's not a tank, he's a bruiser. Yes, Braum is tanky, but as a support, you're always going to be behind in gold relative to the carries of the enemy team, so no one really wants to soak those, apart from Braum with his Unbreakables. Not a fun situation for Barrage, but you can see the desperation start to come in. They know they can't handle the 1-3-1, so they're starting to try and force with the Sivir. Unfortunately, that wasn't the situation where they found it.
Kasing Dim. A support's duty of holding the wave. See, he's got that QSS as well, so if Camille catches him out with a bubble...
He's a QSS and the cleanse.
Yeah, he's real hard to pick.
And the thing is, with that CC prevention, you essentially provide it for your AD carry, because if any CC comes in on you, you can't obviously eat your AD carry, but with having the cleanse and the QSS, you're almost always going to be able to offer that.
Watch him build a Crucible now as well.
Might be a bit over the top, but...
That would be ridiculous.
You never know. For now, they are starting to get control of this Baron area. And you can see Scudzy hanging around bot side looking for Sendo. No flash, no stopwatch, but does have that GA. But if he does commit to that bot lane play, they could definitely go for that Baron.
Taxa does dodge out. He actually might have these concussive blows stacking up. That's going to be the ulti thrown out. The Realm Warp in, and Exile launches in the Super Mega Death Rocket. Gets blocked up by Bartiono's Unbreakable, but Notorious takes a jump. In comes the Paranoia, and you can see Scudzy jumps into the backline. Kasing gobbles him up to make sure he's alive. The GA is going to get used, and Camille comes in with a little bit of burst on for the moment. Scudzy flashes away. Sendo just running a mess in the front. The GA is going to get used, and Camille's managed to find himself a kill. Taxa now trying to enter in. That's going to be another one. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but the health bars are just so low. One reset here for Inax.
Jinx is excited!
Jinx is so excited, and Notorious will be able to walk out. The turret shot takes him down, and Inax has no arms.
Jinx got way too excited there, ends up going down at the end of it. Thought it was going to be the sort of pentakill team fight you see. Oh, actually, Jakamaka might look for Exile here.
It's going to be real hard. He's got the Ceres, he's got the Roa.
Yeah, but probably not a good option to go for that, but such a back and forth. You saw Krumel do so much. Oh, Artorias is coming with a TP.
Artorias has not a lot of HP though already. You can see how much Exile's capable of doing to him. Gets himself the E on the Rune Prison, and Artorias is forced to run away.
Yeah, not the best TP I've seen, but I respect the effort. Will back off, and was a very back and forth fight. Barrage still absolutely giving it there, but crucially they weren't able to shut down Exile. And Inax, although he died to the tower at the end, still put out so much damage there. Now has that Rune Arms for even more AoE.
Okay. Can see Exile are looking to try and set up around Baron. They've got a few wards out for the moment. Taxa is going to get spotted up by Bartiono. They just send a little Spiderling over.
Big things that happen in that fight. Sendo, GA down. Scudzy, GA down. They are crucial cooldowns to sort of allow them to die, but the thing is, I feel like Scudzy without his GA just dies so quickly, whereas Sendo is still a menace without his.
Scudzy getting his Rift Herald, actually. Rift Scuttler, sorry. It's really nice. Gives him locked vision, which can't be cleared for a little bit, so they will at least have some idea what's going on around the Baron pit for the moment. As you can see, the 1-3-1 has started up once again here for XL. That fight was maybe a little bit too risky for them.
Crucial thing to look at is the fact that Sendo's TP will come up before Artorias's. That is the window I'm expecting XL to punish. And I can feel, you can see from how Barrage are playing, they're desperate to make something happen before then.
Oh.
Because if they find a fight when Sendo has the TP and Artorias doesn't, it's going to be a 4v5, and that's not a fun situation to be in.
Sendo has such a CS lead as well here.
Yeah, pretty significant. I mean, Artorias is fine just to clear under the tower, but you're never going to have pressure in that lane.
See already, those rockets doing a lot.
Realm comes in.
On the flash in by Taxa. Now they're jumping onto Bartiona. The Glacial Fisher connects onto multiple members. And Notorious has jumped in. The Super Mega Death Rocket has picked up one, and the Paranoia is on. Sleepy Bubble Trouble goes a little bit wide, and Scudzy trying to rip for Exile.
Sendo's
but he's
flanking.
unable to do. Sendo's on that flank. He's going in hard, baby. He gets a double kill. Make it a double kill for this Inax. And oh, Lord, XL get a fight.
Yeah, so the fight started off really aggressively from XL. Looked like it might go back a bit, but as soon as Sendo came into that back line, they just fell apart, and XL easily going to be able to pick up that Baron. No one off the contestation, a clean ace. And you got to beg the question, maybe Bartiona should have flashed away from that cocoon.
I said at the beginning that Mountain Drake was going to be real useful for taking Baron, but you can't use it if you're dead.
Yep, absolutely true. Now, one good thing for the side of Barrage is that they still have that Silver Wave clear. Now picked up that Essence Reaver, good on that ground, but the issue is you're going up against a 1-3-1, which you already had trouble with. It's only going to get worse now the Baron buff is there, and I feel like Sendo and Exile are just going to be a menace on these side lanes.
I mean, if they can get Triple Ocean as well, it means they have so much regen to work with. It's like a mini Warmogs. I have to see whether or not XL actually decide to try and contest that objective against them.
I mean, I feel like XL are in the position to get this third Warmog, this third Ocean.
Third Warmogs.
Third. Imagine having 3 Warmogs.
It'd be relatively useless.
I mean, you have a lot of HP.
You would.
You'd be a tanky boy. For now, you see the 1-3-1 is sort of the position it's gone. XL pretty easily pick up that Ocean Drake. And now it's just about defending against this Baron push. But the thing that I'm questioning is the fact that Jackamak and Bartiona were stepped so far forwards when they got picked out there.
Oh, Taurus is throwing the ultimate on. Paranoia's in already. The fight's breaking out, and I can't see what's going down. Already a fight in the top lane as well as Camille's getting chunked out. It's just mid laner for mid laner here, but Exile trying to turn it. 1v3, the fear is on. He forces the res out, and Notorious might just be able to get him. The shield is so big. Oh my God, Exile, you absolute animal, you absolute heathen. The Realm Warp is thrown down. The Q gets spell shielded out, and Scudzy is running away. Exile, what the hell was that?
He just absolutely destroys them 1v2. They look for the fight, they lose out, and XL are gonna punish. They take down so many members of the Barrage roster, and they're taking the base with it.
They're teleporting in as well. Both inhibitors are down in both the mid and the top lane. They're starting to do some work onto these turrets with the Baron buff, and Bartiona gets locked up, CC'd. Sendo slices and dices forward, takes him down, and Jackamaka runs away, throws out the Boomerang Blade. The health bars are low. Maybe a Ricochet could be golden, but no, the Nexus goes down, and XL at 27 minutes take out Barrage.
Wow, and this is the XL we expected, but didn't have for a while. They had win conditions, they played to them. Some mistakes around the bot lane, but overall they just came in strong.
I mean, that was the XL we wanted to see for a while now.
Yeah.
They've had a rough 2 weeks. They bounced back hard, and they had a fantastic showing there versus Barrage. And, you know, that wasn't the Barrage we've seen for the last 2 weeks as well. They looked lost in this game, and Taxa just made sure Artorias was completely useless all game.
That's the big question, is that Artorias has always been a bit of a feast of famine player. We saw him on the Riven pop off. That Aatrox performance, not so much. So it goes both ways, and ultimately that was a sort of, that lead that they got in the top lane was what started things off and ended up costing the game, I feel. There were other areas but it just felt like they got behind and then they just couldn't do anything in that lane. The Renekton was huge in team fights, and it just got to the position where they couldn't handle the rise of Jinx. So
now, we're going to have MVP in a second. I haven't been told what it is yet, so I'm curious to think, who do you think gets MVP coming out of that game?
it's pretty, I would say it's got to be Exile. I don't think he died that whole game.
What about Taxa, though? Taxa, like, set the team up for success as well.
See, I'm good friends with Taxa, and I know him quite well, which is why I would never give him MVP. Because
it's Exile. Exile did get MVP coming out of that game, so
I would personally never give it to Taxa because it just gets to his head. It just messes with his ego,
so it's tactical. Makes sense. Well, if you didn't agree with that, you can actually head over to our Twitter, LVP UK, and we will have at the end of the show the Unsung Hero vote, where players who maybe deserved MVP but didn't get it today can be voted by you guys at home for the Unsung Hero, and we'll announce the winner of that tomorrow. So
Taxa's definitely, you can make an argument for. Who was it in the game before who I thought it was Nulty? So a lot of junglers not getting the praise of MVP they deserve, but I mean, pretty good efforts.
Safe to say Taxa's Elise looked better than Nulty's Elise.
Yeah, absolutely. Nulty's Elise, but his Olaf was pretty good.
His Olaf was very good. It was a very good game. Now, that does mean XL are our last team, making it in... No, sorry. Our next team, our third team, to make it into the semi-finals going in tomorrow, but we still have one more game.
Ooh,
We've got Darkspawn versus Fnatic.
Have we seen this matchup before?
Ah, man, only like once, maybe twice. This is the third time.
Third time.
It is drawn randomly for who they play each week, so unfortunately it's been a pretty rough tournament so far for Darkspawn as they've had to face up versus Fnatic 3 times.
But, you know, Fnatic, they played 2 games last week. They lost 2 games last week. And that's not many teams get to lose 2 games in a week.
No.
Normally you lose 1 and you're out. So Fnatic,
you know, setting new records here, the UKLC.
Absolutely. I think they're the first team to lose 2 games in a week.
Well, find out whether or not they can win, if they can win and pull back, or if Darkspawn can take them out. We're going to go to a quick break, and when we're back, it'll be Darkspawn versus Fnatic, so don't go anywhere.